that should now be providing the microphone. Yes, it is. It looks like we've just got the one microphone. That's good. So you should hopefully get better sound now. I hope it's not too loud. Let me know if it is. But some people last time complained that sound on my videos was very quiet. As I say, radio mic now. That's what we're doing. Good. Well, I've got a couple of people viewing. That's a good start. Let's see how we go. So, leader doc EWOP. So let's start with the doc, because I know I want the doc to be synthetic. And he's going to be a synthetic robot. Leader. I'm going to give him any other attributes. I'm going to make the EWOP stealthy. And what about the AI? We can do all kinds of interesting stuff with the AI. Not sure yet. Let's think about that. Okay, well, I want them all to be pretty mobile. I need the EWOP to be high mobility. I want him to be high acuity. So I've put 5 and 5 in both of those. So that's 10 of my 5. I've made him, I've made him stealthy, so I'm going to give him a discipline of 3. Stealthy means that when I make cautious move tests, which you'll see, I can re-roll the results. And he's just going to have a fight of 2, so he's really not a shooter, not a fighter at all. Don't want to end up with him in close combat. The doc, meanwhile, he needs to have a good strong acuity as well. It's a little bit like being stealthy. He can re-roll the results of his medic checks. I'm just going to give him an acuity of 4 because he's got the re-rolls. That should be enough. I'm going to give him a mobility of 5 so that he can move around quickly and get to anybody who's injured. He's going to have a fight then of 3 and a discipline of 3, so that all adds up. I'm also going to give the doc some armor. No, I'm going to give the doc an AV of 1. That's the armor value. And then the EWOP will have an AV of... I'm thinking because the higher their armor value goes, the harder they find it to get around. So, no, not higher. It's harder to climb, basically, and jump if you've got a high AV. So in his case, I'm going to stick with 1. That's fine. I'm going to give the leader an improved armor value. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the leader an armor value of 3 to keep him alive. I'm also going to make him courageous. There we go. So he's going to have a mobility of 4. He's going to have a fight of 5. Doesn't need that high acuity. I don't think that's 9 to acuity of 2. And a discipline of 4. So let's hope the leader is not trying to grab our objective. And last of all, the AI. Now I want to give the AI... Doesn't need to do a lot of moving around because he's simply possessed somebody who's already there. So I'm going to give his mobility of 2. And then a fight and an acuity of 5. So he's my backup. So that's 12 and then a discipline of 3. His cylinder and AV don't matter. Because he gets whatever AV and cylinder the miniature has that he possesses. I'm going to give him all a firewall of 1. So, having done all of that, let's add up the number of upgrades. So we've got 4 heroes. They've each got 1, 2. So the leader's got 3 upgrades. The doc has got 1 upgrade. The EWOP has got 2 upgrades. And the AI has got 1. And the AI gets a free upgrade because he's an AI. What am I going to give the AI? See, I see him leaping in to really deal with an unexpected enemy. I could make him lethal. or I could give him something really nasty like explosive, but I don't think that's going to be necessary in this mission. I'm going to give him lethal. Okay. So what's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give the dock a little extra. What can I do with that? No, let's keep it at that for now, otherwise I'll get confused. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 upgrades total. So that is our team. That's done, so let's get back to the mission. So let's turn this around. I'll introduce you to the tabletop and you can see what's going on. Put my aid memoir where it belongs. All right, so if you can see me on the top left-hand corner, here is my new camera that will show you around. So the camera can look down and it can see all the dice rolls, and it can come out and it can see the card flips as well as we go through. And I can slide it around as well so that it can show you different parts of the battlefield as we go. So just to introduce you to the battlefield today, let's see if I can move this around a bit. So down here at the bottom right, I'm hoping, I mean I haven't decided where the heroes are going to come onto the table, but obviously once they're on, I'll be able to move this stuff around so it's not in the way. So we've got some wreckage down here, some ruins. The train here has come off the tracks. That is intentional. The idea of that is that one cannot pass through between the building and the train. Over this other side here, we've got a walkway with my mouse beside it, which doesn't need to be there. We've got a walkway coming over the road, abandoned coach, rest of the train. Moving along, we can see down here, and this is important, should have pointed that out before, this here is our objective for the mission, so this is where we're trying to get to, and then we've got some more buildings around this side working their way down around the table. So one thing I've just got to watch out is that I move the camera properly as we go along, so that you can actually see what I'm doing, but also my setup isn't perfect. I'm nearly there, but I'm not perfect, and if I do put the camera in the wrong place, it will fall over. So I'll try not to let that happen. Right, okay, so first things first, we've got to deploy our heroes. They deploy in what's called a restricted deployment. That basically means they get a 6-inch by 6-inch deployment space on the board edge. Given lots of thoughts about where that's going to go. Broadly speaking, I have decided that the best route in is going to be through this area here, up around the tyres, over to the objective, and then we'll work out what our exit plan is once we get there. I've only got to send one of my people there to get it. That's going to be basically the EWOP's job. The EWOP is then going to be covered by the leader and the dock, and the AI will jump in and possess the dock if circumstances require it. We'll see where the Red Force deploy themselves in just a moment. So, first thing I have to do is shuffle the deck. So the control deck controls the artificial intelligence. Oh, I've got some comments at last. Hello, Mark. Hello, John. Good. Okay, sound is good and the camera's working well. Thank you very much, John. That's exactly what I needed to hear. But Mark, hello also to you. Nice to have you both on board. So here we go. Shuffling the control deck. And as I said at the start, I've got 7 upgrades on my heroes, which means I run the clock down 7 ticks. If any of these is a joker, it gets shuffled back into the deck and we take another card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you were looking closely, you might have noticed that there was an Ace of Hearts in there, and that's a boss activation, but it's a boss support activation. So interesting to know that that has gone. So the clock is ticked down 7 cards. Next thing to do is to deploy our heroes and decide where they're going to go. And I'm going to have to move my cards because that's pretty much where the heroes are going. So I'll move the cards out of the way and measure my deployment zone in 6 inches up to there, 6 inches up to there. I don't just want to stand out in the open too much because I don't know where the red force are going to be. I've got to deploy the heroes first. Now, so we've got a leader, my leader. Pardon me if I disappear from camera for a second. I'm just peering at my minis to decide who I'm going to put in as my leader today. An up-armoured leader. Yeah, this one is going to be my leader. Where's he gone? Lost him. There he is. Okay. Leader's a big chap. There we go. It's my leader. It's a Mantic Games. I can't remember what they're called. Enforcers, I think. It's an Enforcer captain. Looks like a good, sensible leader. Not excessively armed and armoured. And he's just a leader and he's courageous, so he will go in. That's not his deployment, that's just where I'm going to put him for now. Then we've got our dock. So we've got a robot dock that I want to have on the table. Who's going to be my robot dock today? Unsurprisingly, I have a selection of robots. Many of them pass as mechs. Quite like that one, actually. Here we go. So we've got a Strato Minis mech in yellow. He's going to be my dock because he's running fast and we've given our dock a high mobility. So that's perfect, good size. If you want to see a rough equivalency of size, yep, about right. Nice human-sized mini. My EWOP, meanwhile, is going to be this one here. It's Infinity Miniature. Put that in. Ah, brill. Okay, and we've got another viewer. That's nice. So those are our 3 heroes. Our 4th hero, the AI, does not appear on the table. And we're going to have an experiment to see if we can get the AI in later. So deployment time. I'm going to put the leader up front. The medic, the EWOP close beside, and the medic in behind them. It's just going to be as simple as that. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to try. The idea at the moment is, depending on where the red force go down, is I'm going to send the leader up and around to the right. The EWOP basically straight from here along to the objective, and the dock is going to sort of hang back and try and cover off the middle area round about these tyres until we know what our exit route is. Okay, so let's get some dice down because we've got to deploy some red force guys. So the way red force deployment works is, first of all, you decide who's in your red force. Now every red force starts with 2 defaults. Starts with a boss. There's my boss. And starts with an elite. And there's my elite. It says elite because he's got a grenade launcher on his rifle. And he's got the corporal stripes on his base. There's my boss and my elite. And then to that I add a number of grunts equal to the number of heroes. Really simple. So we're just going 1, 2, 3. So there's not a lot. You know, the opposition at the start of a battle is not particularly extreme, but as it goes on, it can increase, and that's what you've always got to bear in mind. So when it comes to deploying these, in fact, tell you what, out of interest, let's switch out one of those grunts. Just to start off, we're going to pop a... This is another Mantic Games... No, not Mantic. Warlord. This is a Warlord Games from Beyond the Gate of Antares drone. I'm just going to put this in as... Yeah, I'll put this in as a synthetic grunt. So we've got a synthetic grunt on the table from the start. Let's see where they go. We'll deploy the grunts first. So what you do is you say the red is going to be left to right. The yellow is up and down. So I've got a 5 and a 10. So let's go over to the objective. So hopefully you should be able to see the objective from there. So we say 6 is on the objective. So left to right says 5, so 5's coming down there. Top to bottom, 10's coming down there. I always say don't worry too much about this. Okay? Always position your grunts facing immediately away from the objective. So that's the first one. Second one, 6, 4. It's going to be much closer to the objective. 6, 4. No, that's the elite. It's going to be there. Third one, 3, 2. 3, 2. With our drones over there. Then we do the elite. 8, 7. 8, 7. Our elite is down here. And last, but absolutely not least, it's the boss. 4, 1 for the boss. 4, 1, all the way over there. The boss. So they're in a good position for me at the start. We've got an elite and a grunt who are both on my path, but you can see they are all quite near the objective, so getting in there is going to be a challenge. Right, I've got a cup of tea. Cheers. Got my aid memoir, got my heroes, sorry, just reach across the camera there. Got my heroes stats right there. I'm going to fold that so I can see them. You know, it would be great if I could get some kind of display involved in this so that as I do this you can see the hero stats appear, but I think that's going to have to be something that goes in a recorded video. And again, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have the technology to do that now with the software. As I often say, one of the great things about my patrons is that they do cover the costs of some of the subscription that I pay and the software that I buy to be able to engage digitally, not only with the Adobe InDesign and Acrobat software that I use for doing your rules, but also the video editing software that I use for making videos. So I will try and make more recorded videos now that we've got a better setup, thanks to you guys. In fact, specifically, today's live stream, I should say, is brought to you by Demon Lord Charax the Eternal, for he advanced me a sum of money to assist me in the purchase of this additional equipment today. So, huge thanks to Charax. Anyway, we'll get back to the game. So, coming back to the heroes then. We want to start... Do we want to start big or start cautious? Now, as I explained in the last live stream, there is a tactical decision to be made as to whether you use cautious or normal movement. I'm just wondering where I've put my tape measure this time. I do this all the time. There we go. I'm notorious for losing tape measures. They're all over the house and I've got no idea where they are. Right, okay, I think I'm going to do a normal move, because this will, for anybody who's new to Zero Dark, this will really illustrate how an action occurs. So we can see my heroes. They are, the first one that's going to activate is going to be my leader. And my leader is simply going to activate with a normal move. He's got a mobility of 4. And so he is going to move up to 8 inches in a normal move. And he is simply going to move around that corner over to that side there. And that's his action. Now that I've got a little bit of space down here, I'll move the cards. Once he's completed his action, we then do our card flip. Card flip is a king, a face card, that's what's important, and it's a heart. If I go to my aid memoir, we can see that bogey actions, a heart is a support action. If there is at least one down bogey, the down bogey closest to a hero is no longer down. Well, there's no down bogeys, so that's not a problem. And the active bogey and the nearest other bogey both get a support token. Now, somebody did ask me a question about this recently and said, does there have to be a down bogey in order for the support token to go in? And the answer is no. So in fact, what I've done in the latest iteration of the rules is switch those two clauses around. So this bogey is the elite because it's a face card. Let's look at our bogeys over here. Check we can see. So this is the elite here. So he's been activated. The idea being that he's seen something or heard something. He's not sure what it is, but he's now prepared. So we're going to give him a support token to show that he is prepared. And the next nearest bogey also gets a support token. This sort of represents him calling out, saying things like, hey, stand to, be aware, there's something out there, I think. So this guy is the next nearest, and he will also get a support token. Well, that's an interesting, do you know, I've just reread those ones. The nearest other, does it mean the nearest to the elite or the nearest to the hero? That is a good point. That's a good question. I think it makes more logical sense that it should be the nearest to the hero, and I will have a look at that and see if we can make that a little bit clearer in the rules. But it should be the bogey nearest the hero makes more sense than the bogey nearest to the active bogey, because it's like calling on the radio to go, oh, I've seen something in your quadrant, or whatever it might be. So, there we go. First action. So hero acts, bogeys act, and then the bogeys get their secondary action. And the secondary action for the active bogey, in this case, is a move. Bogey stats, he's got an attack of 2, so he moves 2 inches towards the active hero. And that is just to ramp up the pressure on the heroes, really. It just represents their normal sort of movement and patrol, but it happens to go towards the heroes. Right, let's press on with our next activation. Next action is going to be a slightly more interesting one. We're going to bring into play the question of the cautious move. Now, those who've seen this before know how it works, but this is our EWOP. Our EWOP is going to perform a cautious move. The EWOP's movement, their mobility is 5. So they're going to perform a cautious move for 5 inches. Just takes her around the corner to here. However, because it's a cautious move, she can make a cautious move test. Can you see the dice from there? I think you can see the dice from there. So cautious move test is made using her discipline. The EWOP has a discipline of 3, so we're rolling 3 dice. The target is equal to twice the distance moved, so 10, plus any EWOPs that have got a line of sight to where she is, and any EWOPs within 12 inches. Now, there are no there are no bogeys within 12 inches, so there's none for that. But there is one bogey that does have her in his line of sight. Now, the reason that the bogey can't just see her is because despite the fact that you can see everything that's going on, this is taking place at night. Visibility level, as I said at the start, is 5. That means it really is quite dark indeed. So it doesn't make it automatically easy to spot your opponents. Now, meanwhile, she has a discipline of 3, so I'm rolling 3 dice. 10 plus 1 is 11, so my target is 11. Oh, now she's rolled well. Oops, I just moved that with my finger, but I swear that was an 11. Can you see the dice there? So we had an 11, a 10, and a 4. Now, she is stealthy, so I could re-roll that, but I like that enough that I'm not going to. So let's take that, moving your camera around, and put that there on the dice. Just going to slide that a bit. So I'm going to put that dice on the card there, and you'll see why in a moment. The other success can be used now for a bonus action. Bonus action can be movement, can be shooting, it can be gaining a support token, going prone, or making a jump. The other thing is with a bonus action is it doesn't have to be the character who generated. Any other hero could take that bonus action and make a single mobility, move up to their mobility. I think it should be her, or should it be the leader, or the doc? No, I'm going to make it be her. She's delicate. She is a little fragile at armor 3. Armor 1 rather. Armor 1. Okay, I'm going to give it to the leader. Fine. So the leader gets a move of 4. So he's going to move up there. And that represents that sort of coordinated action that you can do when you're a planning squad. Now let's come back to the cards. So we can see the dice on the card. That reminds us that this action is going to be cancelled. It's a 3 of hearts. It would activate the nearest grunt. It doesn't. So the grunt doesn't get that support action. That's the primary action though, so it still gets its secondary action, which is a simple move. Moves 1 inch towards, sorry, 2 inches, isn't it? 2 inches towards the nearest hero. So again, raising the stakes here. Going to come back. Now, the leader's acted and the EWOP's acted, the doc's not yet acted. There is no reason in the rules I couldn't activate either the leader or the EWOP again. There are no turns in this game per se, there are just activations. I could activate the leader all the way through to the objective, grab the objective and take him off the table, and never activate another hero. It would seem a little weird, it would be very risky, but I can do it. So I don't have to activate the doc now. I am, however, going to activate the doc. The doc is also going to make a cautious move because he wants to make sure he can reach both of his potential patients. He's going to simply move 5 inches to there. And then we'll roll some dice again. The doc's discipline, however, is... The doc's is also 3. So he's going to roll 3. He's moved 5 again, so that's 10. Still got the same line of sight. Has he? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, actually, he's got line of sight to him from this bogey here. So he's still testing against 11s. Oops. Let's show you the dice a bit easier. Now I've cleared the heroes out of the way, I can move stuff around and you can see it better. There we go. Okay, so 11s. Okay, now that's a good result. You may like to just have a look at that for a second, see if you can work out how many successes you think we've got on that action. Okay, so our target was 11, so the 11 is obviously a success. The 12 is a success. 4 doesn't do anything. The 12 also confers an extra success, so that's 3 successes. 1 success must be used to cancel the next activation. Okay, you've got to use a success to cancel the activation. Now you've got 2 successes still to apply, so let's make them both into 11s. Okay, so you can see I've got 2 still to apply. I'm going to use them on my EWOP, who is going to move another 5 inches to that corner. And then the other one I will use on the doc, give the doc a support token. It is important to note that the doc could not also move if the EWOP has moved. You can only do each option of bonus action once. So once you've had somebody move, you can't move somebody else. You can have somebody move and somebody shoot and somebody go prone, have somebody jump, somebody move. Okay, I suppose that is a point, yeah, jumping is advanced movement, but you can jump and move with 2 different people or with the same person with bonus actions in the same action. Okay. If that's not too confusing, we shall move to the red force action. That is cancelled. Oh, it would have been an elite attack action as well, so that's good news. However, the elite is still activated, still moves 2 inches towards the nearest hero. Oh, who have I got? Has alertness for bogeys changed at all? I've had the question. Oh, changed from what is my question to that? I'll be honest, alertness for bogeys is one of those things that in most of my playtesting barely matters. None of these bogeys currently are alert. Reason being, nobody's fired any shots. They've not seen any definitive evidence of a bad guy in the area. So at the moment, they're not alert. As soon as there is a shot, you take the result on the dice of the shooting. So basically, the more shots you fire, the louder they are, that kind of thing. And then you measure the range to say all the bogeys within that range are now alert. More often than not in practice, if you're playing a solo game, I'll say this for alertness, it's a lot easier to kind of wing it. Alertness really only becomes important if you're playing a PvP game. Otherwise, you can kind of go, yeah, that bogey would have heard or they wouldn't. And yeah, okay, but it's a solo game. You're only cheating yourself. Right. So, as I say, at the moment, none of these bogeys are alert. Where were we? Next activation. So, we need to get that EWOP into the objective. So, I think my leader needs to start clearing a path for the EWOP to get in. So, my leader, I'm going to try and move up to the edge there and shoot him. Let's have a look. How far do you think I have to go to get an edge? I reckon I can get to have a line of sight on him. Let's see. So, action. He is going to complete a cautious move. He's got a mobility of 4, so he can move up to there. Oh, I think you can just see him. I'll give him that, but that bogey's going to be obscured. Big time's going to be obscured too, isn't he? Okay. So, first, cautious move test. So he's moved 4, so that's 8. He's got a line of sight, 9. He's within 12 inches, 10. He's not got a line of sight, but he's within 12 inches, 11. Ooh, I think that one's just outside 12 inches. So we're going to say 11. It's going to be nice to myself. So, again, testing for 11s again, getting a lot of 11s in this game so far. See if you can see how many successes he gets. Oh, check his discipline. What's his discipline? 4. Extra dice. Let's use the yellow dice. I think they're probably going to be easier for you guys to read on this. By the way, this is Proud Lion. If you don't know Proud Lion, that's my local comic and gaming store. They're awesome. So I should get one of these that says Precinct Omega, but I can't afford it yet. So we're after 11s. Oh, that's not a very good roll, is it? So we've got 6 and 5 is a success, 2 and 3, nothing. So he's got 1 success. So he's cancelled the card flip, but he's got nothing else. So he doesn't get to take a shot anyway. So I thought with his discipline of 4, an 11 was quite a reasonable ask, but it's not turned out that way. So let's see what he's cancelled. Elite technical action that would have made him targeted. That's good, but bad guy is still moving towards him. So we have a look down here. This guy's still moving 2 inches towards him. So thus far, that bad guy is still oblivious. Okay? He doesn't know that our guy is there. Inevitably, therefore, our guy is going to take the opportunity to pounce. So that range is 2 inches. So I'm going to activate the leader again. So this illustrates how you can activate the same character more than once consecutively. So I'm going to activate the leader. He's going to move 2 inches into contact with him. Now the first thing that happens is a cautious move test as before. Now he's only moved 2 inches. So that's 4 plus 1 with a line of sight, 5, 2 with a line of sight. Let's have a look at this over here. 1 line of sight, 2 line of sight. He's definitely within 12, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're after 9s on 4 dice. Let's see how many passes we get this time. 10's a pass, 9's a pass, 4 and 6 is a pass. We've got 3 successes. Now that's awesome. Let's put one of them over here. 2 still to use. But before we use either of those, we have a CQB action to resolve over here. Because CQB happens the moment 2 miniatures move into contact with each other. Didn't have CQB in the last mission, so this will be good to see. What happens is both sides roll dice. I'm going to use red dice for one and yellow dice for the others. So I'll use red dice for our hero. Heroes use their discipline and they roll against a target depending upon the nature of who they're rolling against. So in the case of this one, my brain is saying 6s, so my target is 6s. Meanwhile, the guy fighting back, do you know, it's the one thing I didn't put. Let's have a look. Did I put this on CQB? Yes, okay. Discipline. Yeah, 6 for elites. That's right. Okay. Can I remember what they fight back with? That's the question. So it's definitely his discipline. And he's looking for 6s. The guy back fights back with his attack, which is 2. And his target is the fight plus his discipline. And his fight is 5 and his discipline is 4. So he's got a high target of 9. So the elite is rolling. I'm sure it's 3. I'm sure the elite. Yeah, the elite is 3 on. He should have been moving 3 inches by now. So never mind. The elite is 3. I didn't put down their stats on my aid memoir. None of you pointed out that the new aid memoir, by the way, doesn't actually have the bogey stats on it, which I only realised when I printed it out today. Oh, David's popping in to say hello. Hello, David. We'll catch you later if you've gone already. So we got 4 dice versus 3 dice, but the 4 dice are looking for 6s and the 3 dice are looking for 9s. So let's see how we do. So he's got 1 success, 2 success, 3 successes, and he's got 1, 2 successes. So first thing is that because he's got 3 successes, one of them, let's go over here, one of them's going to take away his bonus action. That's 1 success. Sorry, his support token. Second one is going to do nothing. The third one will place him down. Okay, so he is not dead, he is merely down. And then he's hit the other guy back. So he's hit him back 2 hits. So that means he is wounded +1. So that's not a great situation. So he's actually wounded 2. He doesn't get to make an AV test against that. You don't get to make AV tests against CQB. That's just the way it is. So he's wounded 2, which means he's now on -1 to all of his stats. So he does, however, have another 2 bonus actions to use. So one of his bonus actions is going to be to shoot the other bogey in front of him. So from there, he's jumped out, killed this guy in close combat, taken a stab, but he's got his pistol out already, he's shooting this chap here. So this is the kind of heroic combo action that we're looking for. Now he's got a fight of 5, but he's now -1 to his stat, so he's down to a fight of 4. Range, sorry if I keep moving the camera around, I just keep forgetting what I'm doing next. Range to his target is 7 inches. We've got a visibility of 5, so he's got it looking for 12s. Plus the defense of the target, which is 1, so 13s on 4 dice. Oh, well that's good. We've got a 12, and a 2, 8 and a 2, that's doing nothing. So we were looking for 13s, so we've got 1 success, plus 1 for the 12. So that's 2 successes on the shooting. This guy's got a support token, so 1 takes away the support token, the other puts him down. So they are both down, but as we saw earlier, it only takes 1 heart card, and all of a sudden they're up again. However, they can't be activated now, so let's go back to the cards. Cautious move, so that's gone. So there's no activation for that card. Oh yes, but alertness, good point. Thank you for raising that earlier. What did he roll on his dice? 12 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2. Well, you can see that's 22, 24. Everybody on the table is now alert. So all of the bogeys are now alert. That means they've got a 360-degree arc of awareness. Effectively, they're all now looking in that direction. This is completely non-necessary, but just for the sake of our immersion, we're going to turn them all around. So they're going to go, what the hell was that? What's going on? Now, we just had a 10 of clubs for our control deck card, so it's going to be the nearest one here. He's got an attack of 2. He's going to move 2 inches towards whatever that disturbance was. What's going on? What's going on? Imagine he's got his rifle up and he's shouting for his mates. Find out what's going on down there. Okay, good action for the leader. Ooh, don't let my tea go cold. Just checking we've not got any comments I can't read from here because my glasses need to be stronger. Right, okay. We've still got to focus on our objective. Idea was to clear the path. So our EWOP is now going to head on forwards. Now, I could make a normal move for 10 inches, but my EWOP, of course, is stealthy. So I reckon she will safely get away with making a cautious move again of 5 inches. So that's 5, 6, 7. The down ones don't count. So she's looking for 7s against that. On her discipline of 3. No, sorry. 5, 6, 7. 10. You double the movement. 10, 11, 12. So she's looking for 12s. That's better. I thought that 7 sounded very low. 12s. She's got 1 success. So I'm going to clock that 9 and re-roll those and see if I can do better. And I did slightly worse. Okay, so the re-roll has only helped me cancel that move. So, as I said in the last live stream, it's always a bit of a gamble going for a cautious move when you're in a hurry. I thought with her being stealthy it would be enough, but it wasn't. So we've cancelled that, but we've still got a bogey coming to see what's going on. So he's moving another 2 inches towards your guy there. So now he's got close enough. I think my doc is going to move up to attempt to start patching up the leader. So the doc is going to make a normal move. He's got a move of 5, so he's just going to move 10. It's not quite enough to get him to the leader. So he's moved up to try and support the leader. I should say that that's actually part of a program, because the doc is a robot. So the robots have a set of programs from which you choose at the start of the mission. So when you activate the doc, he has to move towards the nearest wounded friendly character. If nobody is wounded, he moves towards the nearest character. So although I did do that last time, I completely forgot to mention the fact that he's a robot and has a program. So I apologise. So however, he's done the correct thing. He's been activated and he has moved towards the nearest wounded ally. Right. It was a normal move. Sorry, flip a card. Oh, boss attack action. Okay, now the boss cannot see anyone. Doesn't have line of sight. Active poke has line of sight on the attacks. He does not. If the actor's dirt, he moves towards the nearest hero. So he's a boss. He's got to move 3. Nearest hero is over there. I think I should make the attack action a little bit nastier, actually, because at the moment I don't think it's quite as good as the command action, which gives them support tokens as well. So we'll see about that. We shall see. Right. D. However, back to the dock. The dock is going to, again, move. In fact, he can make a cautious move. He's only moved 1 inch. Is there any value to him making a cautious move? Yeah, there it is, because somebody else may get a chance to move. So he's got a discipline of 3. He's moved 1 inch. There's no one with a line of sight. 2 within 12. So that's 2, 3, 4. So 4 on 3 dice. Unsurprisingly, 3 successes. So the first one we'll use to cancel. The second one he will loan to the EWOP to make a 5-inch move. Let's move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So the EWOP makes a 5-inch move around the corner. And could shoot, but he's got no line of sight. Could go prone, it's not a lot of point. Could move himself, but he's got nowhere to move to because he's already adjacent to a wounded character. He could loan an action to, oh, that's a good point. He can loan an action to the boss, give the leader a support token. There we are. That'll do nicely. Back to the cards. Cancelled. Flip. Bogey. Moves 2 inches. Doc is going to attempt to medic. So he has an acuity of 4. An acuity of 4 and he gets a reroll. The test is against 13s. Each success will reduce his wounded state by 1, but you can only reduce it by 1 state per action. So looking for 13s, I've got 9 and 4 is 13, 8 and 5 is 13, so I've got 2 successes. So 1 success reduces the leader's wounded state by 1, and the other success can be used on a bonus action. Let's give that bonus action to the EWOP over there. But it's not stealthy doing medical work, so we flip. And we've got a Grunt Attack action. Has the Grunt got a line of sight to the leader? Yes, he definitely does. It's a range of 5. Leader is not obscured. Plus the visibility of 5, so that's 10s. He's got an attack of 2, and he's got an AV of 3. So that's 10, 13 on 2 dice. Unsurprisingly, he misses. The boss now wants to make a discipline test to avoid stress. Discipline of 4. Target of 10. 1 success. 2 successes. So what that means is that 1 success means that he's passed his stress test, so he does not become stressed. The second success means that he gets a bonus action. So unsurprisingly, he will shoot the Grunt. He's no longer wounded, so he's back to his regular... Well, he's wounded, but he's not suffering any modifiers to his stats. He's only wounded 1. So he's now rolling 5 dice. We've just measured the range. Didn't we say it was 5? We said it was 5. Plus 5 for the visibility is 10. He's got a defense of 1, 11. So we're looking for 11s. 12s, because that target is also obscured. Got 1, 2 successes. So as we can see, the target was obscured. 1 success on a grunt puts him down. 2nd success puts him dead. Good stuff. Now what? See, I'm concerned about getting a yellow card, a red card, a heart, and one or both of those bogeys standing up. So my leader is going to kill the down leader with whom he is in contact. It's an automatic action. He's dead. Oh, I just realised my leader could have used his support token in that shoot. Never mind. You don't have to use support tokens when you're a hero or a character. You do have to use support tokens when you're a bogey. So the bogeys have to use them as and when they're applied. So my leader has taken an action. It's an automatic action to kill somebody who's down. Don't have to roll any dice, but it does make a noise. So we've got a grunt attack. Grunt command action. There's only 1 grunt left alive on the table. Grunt command action. If the active bogey has line of sight, he does have line of sight to the EWOP, then that bogey attacks the nearest character to which it can draw line of sight, then gains a support token. There we go. So it's a long range to the EWOP. Let's have a look at what I'm doing over here. So long range, 13 inches, plus 5 for the visibility is 8, plus armour 9. It's a grunt, so it's only rolling, sorry, what did I just say? 13 plus 8 plus 5 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So you're looking for 19 on 2 dice, so it's quite a big ask. Let's have a look. No, he's missed. The EWOP then has to make her own stress test. She's only on 3s. She's not wounded at all, so she's looking for 10s. Wow, that's a big one. So 1 success, 2 success, 3 successes off that. So 1 means that she's not stressed. Second one, she's going to move. She's just going to move into contact with that down bogey. And with her final bonus action, she is going to shoot the drone that just shot her. Now, this is important, potential players, because at the moment, if she kills that bogey, the elite's dead. That's a grunt. He'd be dead. If she shoots and kills that grunt as well, it means there are no grunts on the table. So every activation will automatically activate the boss unless it's a joker. And bosses are dangerous. Okay. But we're showing off. So what do we say? Range is 11, plus the visibility is 16, plus 1 for the grunt, because that's their defense. So 11, 16, 17, and she's only got a fight of 2, hasn't she? Yeah, fight of 2. Oh! Yeah, but she can't do that as a bonus action. Okay, I was just going to think that she could hack him, but she can't hack as a bonus action, so fine. Ah, well, look at that. Needed 17, got 17. So I've shot the bogey, and it is down. So now whatever happens next is going to be a boss flip. However, it is actually now my activation, because if you remember, the reason she got to do anything at all there was because he shot at her. So he shot at her, she got bonuses off her stress test. So it's actually still her go. So she's just going to kill the bogey. Automatic action, she's just going to kill him. Okay, he's gone. It's nearly an empty table. There are extra bonus points for leaving an empty table, but attack action. So now the boss is attacking her. The range is much shorter, and he's got 3 dice to roll. Check you guys can see what's going on. So you've got a range of 9, plus 5 for 14, 15, but he's rolling 3 dice and needing 15s. Use the yellow ones. $18. There we go. It took me a while. I knew I'd get there. So between the 3, he's got 1 hit on her. So this is the first time one of our heroes has been hit, so this is useful. You can look there, we've got 5, 6, 7. She does have armour. She has an armour of 1. So she does get to roll. If she can cancel any of those dice, he's missed. She rolled a 5. The 5 cancels that 5, just like Horizon Wars. 5 cancels 5. 6 and 7, 13, not enough. So he has missed. She still needs to take a stress test again. Discipline of 3. Target of 10. 1, 2 successes. Now she could shoot back at the boss. Bosses require 3 successes to hit. Well, let's see. I think she's going to move. She's going to move 5 towards her objective. Her fight is pretty poor. So I think she's actually going to convert her... anything else? There's not a lot else to do. Well, she might as well shoot him. Range is... let's call it 5 inches. So that's 10 plus his defense of 3. Whoops. Sorry, hold on, my camera has just fallen off my bracket. Moving you around too much when I should be sliding it backwards and forwards, that's the problem. Okay, so 5 plus 5 is 10. He's got a defense of 3, so I've got 13s as my target. Let's move that down a bit so you can see what's going on. So we're looking for 13s on 2 dice. She's going to use her support token to add a dice to this. So she's looking for 13s on 3. Nine, 6, 7. Okay, well, she got a hit. No question. But 1 hit on a boss does nothing. Doesn't even wound him, really. So that goes away. You've got to get 3 hits or nothing. Right, she did have an action. He had his return fire action, so it is our action again. And I think we need to be looking at the leader taking on the boss. So he can't see the boss from there, so he's going to cautious move to the edge of this terrain. I'll say that was 2 inches. He's going to cautious move to there. Take his support token and his wounded token with him. And then he's going to attempt that. So he's going to say cautious was 2, so that's 4. He's got 1 guy within 12 inches who's also got line of sight, so that's 6. So he's only got a target of 6, and he's got a discipline of 4. Could add his support token to this, but I'm going to save that in the hope that I get a shooting action here. So, what did I just say he needed? 6, wasn't it? 4, 5, 6. It's not great. 1, 2. That's quite disappointing, actually. So, those go out. That'll cancel that. But we have got 1 shooting action. Now he's going to spend his support token. So he gets 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me find me another dice. 6. So he's got 6 dice. What's his range, first of all? Let's have a look over here. So my leader's shooting this way. It's got a range of 9. Plus 5, 14, plus 3 is 17. So he's looking for 17s on this guy, but he's rolling 6 dice. And he needs 3 hits to put him down, 4 hits to kill him. If he kills him, and there are no more active bogeys on the table, every dice flip is a complication. In fact, even if he's down. So this is going to be interesting. What did I say we needed? 17s, wasn't it? So 10 and 7 is 1. That's not going to be enough, is it? 12, 16, 17, 2 hits. Nothing like sufficient. The boss laughs at his feeble attempt, but at least the boss didn't see where it's coming from. That's a good call, because we don't get to reactivate the down bogey. Do you know, that might actually be quite fun if we did have that synthetic bogey back on the table, and then I could dominate it and try for an AI possession. Right now, I'd like to bring the AI in, but there's very little value in him given where he is. I probably should have followed Stefan's suggestion and made the AI a spook, and then at least I would have a hand of cards that I could use, but maybe we'll do that next time. Yeah, no new actions. Just checking nobody's been asking any questions that I haven't picked up on. Oh, that's quite cool. I've just seen that there's a thing on live streaming called Capture the Moment, so I can take a picture of any particularly dramatic things that go on during the live stream. But let's be honest, guys, we're tabletop wargamers here. Nothing that dramatic is going to happen. Right, where were we? So it's back to our next action. No, I tell a lie. The boss still has to have his move, so he moves 3 inches towards the nearest character. So he is definitely threatening the Ewop at this point, but she has a job to do. So she is going to simply move. She ought to cautious move, oughtn't she? So she is going to move. In fact, she's so close, let's move her there. So she moves into contact, a whole 1 inch move. That means her need for a cautious test is 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's only after 4s on 3 dice, so we've got a good chance of some bonus actions. Well, we got 1 bonus action. Woo. Okay. And with that, she is going to try and shoot her target again. She really needs 12s here to make any difference. The range is 1. He's got a defense of 1, so 1 plus visibility is 6. 9, so he's got a defense of 3 rather. So we're looking for 9s, so I need a 12 and a 9 or higher. Not enough. Okay, so the shooting makes no difference at all. I have cancelled that, but we're in trouble now, because even though we don't get that technical action, he still gets his secondary action. So he is going to move into contact with the Ewop. He's going to say, no, you cannot have my technology, you cannot have my data, we are going to have a fight. So let's illustrate this out. So he is going to roll 3 dice. She is going to roll a number of dice equal to her discipline, which is 3 dice. Her target is 7. His target is her fight plus her discipline, which means 5. So this is not going to look good for her. So yellow's needing 5s, red's needing 7s. Two. So 2 hits on a boss do nothing. 2 hits on the Ewop, meanwhile, mean that she is now wounded. Find a new wounded counter. There we go. She is now wounded 2. So this is not looking good at all. Fortunately, my leader is there. So we're going to activate the leader. He is going to make a normal move so that he can get into contact. Get off my EWOP is what he's saying. The boss is still rolling 3 dice. He, meanwhile, is rolling his fight, which is 5. So he's rolling 5 dice. His target to hit the boss, the leader's target to hit the boss is 7, and the boss's target to hit him are his fight plus his discipline, which is 9. So the boss is now after 9s, he's after 7s. So now things have turned in our favour. So looking for 9s. Oops. You got 1. Now, the leader's already wounded 1, so that's still going to wound him. So he's becoming wounded 2. Meanwhile, what were we looking for? 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3 down, 4 dead. So that is absolutely get your hands off my EWOP. But the boss is dead. Dead, dead, dead. He's dead, Jim. He's dead. Card flip. If this is a grunt heart, or in fact if it's any heart, we've got a grunt back on the table. Anything else, it's a complication. Oh, look at that, it's a heart. So, if there is at least one down bogey, the down bogey closest to a hero is no longer down. Woo! No longer down. Fizzles back into life. That's better than a complication. I am not complaining at all. That timing was marvellous. I think it's time for the dock to come back into play. So he is going to move a full normal move towards the nearest wounded hero. His move is 5, so he gets to move up to 10. So he's going to comfortably move into contact with the leader. Keep his support token. Now let's see what happens. Elite. No elites on the table, therefore it's time for our first complication. Here's our complications table. Let's roll a d12, see what happens. Oh, it's a 12! Booby trap. The character closest to the objective becomes wounded +2. She's already wounded 2, guys. She becomes wounded 4. The objective has blown up in her face. Wounded 3. Oops, need another token. Token. Where are they? There we go. Wounded 4. That is as close as you can get to being dead in this game without being dead. Wounded 5 is dead. Beyond wounded 4, you are dead. So just for those who haven't read the rules, if you're on here, so wounded 1 does nothing. It's inconvenient. Wounded 2 is -1 to all your stats. Wounded 3 is -2 to all your stats, and there are some things you can't do. And wounded 4 is, yeah, you're out of action. You're not dead yet, but it's a close thing. So, ouch, that hurt. Right, okay, but that was our complication. So now we've got the doc. The doc is at least in contact. He's in contact with the wrong person, but he can't move. His programming means that now he's treating a patient, he can't move until he's finished that treatment. So the first thing he's going to do is treat the leader. He's got an acuity of 4. The AI is watching all of this and going, I need to come in on this, but I can't because the doc is busy. So acuity of 4. Well, unsurprisingly, that's a success. That's a success because he needs 13. And that's a second success, so he gets a bonus action. That's handy. So over here, he gets 1 success, reduces him, he gets a bonus action, he can move to here. So we'll take those away. He's still got his thingy there. I think we're about to use that. but he can only heal one level of wounded at a time. Okay, so having had his bonus action, we're back to here. What are we going to get? Grunt or complication? It's a grunt attack action. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. Now, there is one small advantage which I haven't done anything about yet. Because she is wounded 4, she is in fact prone. And she's not hacked that objective yet. So, there is a slim point to the fact that she's now obscured from the target. So, the target is 6 plus 5 is 11, plus her defense of AV of 1 is 12, plus her obscured of 1 is 13. So 13, it's only a grunt, so it's only rolling 2 dice, it needs 13. This is where I rolled double 12s and she's dead as dead. No, that was a 4. There we go. It was a 4, I swear it was a 4. You all saw it. 9. Okay, so he has missed. She does need to take a stress test. Despite that, she's -2. In fact, no, she can't do anything. She's out of action, so she doesn't even have to take a stress test. So, fat chance of that. Okay, so now our doc is in contact with both our heroes. So he is now going to attempt to heal the Ewop. He needs her back in play. So, discipline 4. Sorry, acuity 4. He's not. He's acuity 5. Oh no, that's the Ewop. Doc is acuity 4. Yes. 13s. 1 success, no bonus action. That's all right. Don't need a bonus action right now. Okay, gone. Card flip. Grunt technical action. Nearest hero becomes targeted. I have these nice little counters from Litco Accessories that I use for targeted. They're quite cool. So there we go. She's targeted as well, so the drone is lining her up for a shot. Targeted is nasty because not only can you be shot more easily by the enemy, but they can even shoot you without a line of sight if you're targeted. Represents attacks through the battle net. So back to the dock again. Good thing you can activate people concurrently, isn't it? So, going for another one. Looking for 13s. Still going on the Ewop. 9 and 4 is success. That's not enough. Okay, so 1 success again. Heals 1 level of wounded. She's now wounded 2. So she's really getting patched up slowly. Okay, we're nearly there. She needs to be back to wounded, whoops, pardon me, needs to be wounded 1 or better before I can, sorry about that, needs to be wounded 1 or better before I can start hacking that centre, I think. So, complication. Complication table. It's 11, reinforcements. Right, reinforcements work like this. You flip 3 control cards and see what you get. 1, 2, oh dear, 3. So that's what I flipped. So I've got 1, 2 more grunts have come onto the table. Black grunts mean synthetics. So let me just grab a couple more. Oops. Couple more drones to deploy. They deploy on the objective. I won't show you the dice while I do this, just take my word for it. 2, 11. 2, 11. So one of them has appeared up here. Beep boop. Hope you can see that from there. And the other one, 10, 3. 10, 3. And the other one has appeared up there. That's really cool. So they both come in. So they kind of zoomed in on the objective. They've been flying in and they've appeared from nowhere to attack. And the Joker. So guess what that means? Yes, we generate another complication. 9. Betrayal. All bogies get a support token up to their maximum. Okay, no, that's the rest of the things don't matter because none of the bogies have got support tokens. So now not only are the bogies surrounding them, but they all have support tokens. Do you know what I think? I think we're going to have to go to try and hack that console, even if she's not down to wounded 1. So, she's got an acuity of 5. Target of 13. No, target of 10 in this objective. I remember this. Target of 10. So, should be easy peasy. 1 success and a bonus action. Brill. So, now what happens over here is this objective basically goes away. Okay, you can leave it on the table. There's no reason to actually take it away, although I'm going to, just to remind me. But now, the EWOP has become the objective. Okay? And she's targeted, and she's wounded. So if she goes down, the objective will appear wherever she has gone down. Right. Where am I at? Okay, that was her action, so we're back to over here. We've got 3 grunts on the table. What's going to happen? It's a grunt technical action. So, which one is the grunt nearest our EWOP? It's the one we already had. So, technical actions. Active bogey gains a support token. Can't get any more support tokens. And the nearest not targeted character becomes targeted. So unsurprisingly, they're sat around there going, beep, 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 cease your activity. Oh, there we go. Now the dock is targeted. So, This is where things get interesting. So we've got the objective. First thing I have to do now that I've got the objective is establish the table edge from which I have to leave. So if we say clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. So clubs is over here, diamonds is way over there, hearts is over there, and spades is down here. Okay? Diamonds, hearts, spades. And it's going to be the next control card that I flip that will establish what it is. I mean, it should have been the last one, to be fair, but now I know that it's a diamond. I don't want to say I'm going over that. I'll do it for the next one. So I will force myself to do something else. Now, I am torn between 2 options. Either having the AI possess the dock to become lethal, or having the EWOP hack and dominate one of those drones. And I'm going to go with the dominate. So I'm going to attempt to dominate a drone. So I'm going to go for the nearest one, because that makes life a lot easier. So that's 6 inches, plus the visibility level is 11. So it's a lot like shooting, plus the firewall of the target, which is 0. So that's fine. So that's 11. But instead of using her fight, I use her acuity. So, looking for 11s on 5 dice. This should be pretty much a shoo-in. Good. So we've got 1 success, 2 success, 3 success. So, with the first success, see, this is the thing. When you get electronic warfare actions and you get bonus actions, you can use them on other electronic warfare actions, as long as they're of the same type. So, I can now dominate that guy. He loses his support token as a result. I can use that to make other things, as long as they target myself. So I can then remove my targeted state from the EWOP, and I can apply a support token to her as well. And that little bud now belongs to me. So look, my aid memoir. Look at my aid memoir. Look at that. I forgot all of the bogey stats and all of the dominated bogey stats. I mean, what was I even doing? Honestly. I will put up a corrected version of this afterwards. So, look at that. I have no idea what that bogey stats are now. They're not very high. Do I need to stop and look it up on the rules? Hold on a second. Let's see if I can do this over here very quickly. Yeah, sorry about this. It's a bit embarrassing. But had I been able to print normally, then I wouldn't have had to do this. Or at least I would have noticed well in advance. Right, I can't remember whether it's in Electronic Warfare under Domination or under Red Force. Looks like it's under Electronic Warfare. Upgrades, the team, other rules. Electronic Warfare, there it is. Okay, it's a grunt. 2-2-2-2. Well, that's nice and simple, isn't it? 2-2-2-2 across the board. Right. Okay, so we've got a nice bogey. We've dominated that. We've got a couple of bonus actions still to have. Now, I used one of them to take away... Oh, that's right. I used one to take away her target state, one to give her a support type. So, we're good. We're good to go. Card flippy time. Grunt attack action. Nearest grunt, this one here. Can it see her? Well, let's say it can. Okay, so range, I mean, she's actually prone still. So it can't see her. She's not in line of sight. Can see the leader, though. 7 inches. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus his defense of 3 is 15. So he needs 15 onto 3 dice, because he's got a support token. Needing 15s. 1 hit. So he's got 3 dice. In fact, let's just move those. I don't want those to get knocked. So we've got 2 9s and a 10. Frankly, this is going to have to be a very good roll to stop that being a hit. Yeah, no. So he's taken 1 hit, which means he is back to being wounded 2. Needs to make a stress test. So he's -1 discipline now. His discipline is normally 4, so yeah, he's rolling 3 with a target of 10s. 1 success, so he is not stressed, but he gets no bonus actions as a result. Let's have a look at our team. So, oh, we didn't get a flip. Flip the spades, excellent. So clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. So this is our exit side. Got to get out on this side over here. This is a good thing. So I am thinking it is worth risking, because the objective is the EWOP. It is worth having the doctor do 1 more medic test on the EWOP. By the way, other characters can do medic tests. They just don't get a reroll. So it doesn't have to be. You don't have to have a doc to do medic tests. Sorry. Okay, so the doc is going to attempt another medic test. 4. Yep. 13s. 9. That's 1 success. Bit dull. I could re-roll that, but I'm not going to. 1 success. That's all I really care about. There we go. Card flip. Complications. Complications. Ay, it's another booby trap. Ah! Character closest to the objective becomes wounded +2. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. I need to clarify that a little bit as well, because of course now the objective is the EWOP. So is the EWOP wounded +2, or is the doc wounded +2? Well, my gut says it ought to be the EWOP, even though she's just been healed. So she can use her support token. No, she can't. Can't use a support token for that. Nice try. Wounded +2. I am using a lot of counters here. So, she is wounded 1, 2, 3. Wounded 3, so having just healed her, she's now -3 in all of her stats. -2 rather, in all of her stats. That's not good at all. My gut is she just needs to move. She just needs to get moving from this point on. She's got a move of 5. She's -2, so she can move up to 6. She can't move urgent, but she can move 6 inches. She can move over there. Oops. Sorry, Doc. So she's not prone anymore. You can stop being prone automatically. Put that back in a second. At the start or end of any move, or you can use it as a bonus action to just go prone. So you don't have to worry about using actions to stand up or get down. We assume these guys know how to stand up and lie down automatically. But that was a normal move. What are we going to have? Okay. Grunt support action. Nobody is down. That one already has a support token. That one isn't allowed them anymore, so that one gets a support token. Support tokens, support tokens. There we are. I have loads of these, but you just got to find them. Right. Oh. Okay. Okay, my doc is going to make a cautious move to her. So he's going to move 3 inches, take his targeted and his support token with him. My hope is actually to give her a movement action as well out of this, because I want them all to move together. He's got a discipline of 3, but he's going to use his support token to roll 4 dice. So he's going to roll 4 dice. He only moved 2 inches, call it 3 inches, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's after 10s. 2 successes. 1 there, 1 for an extra move. It's going to grant that to our Ewop, who gets to move another 3 inches. She tries to limp away. And then we're back to the activation token. Do you know, I've been forgetting all of their secondary actions. I'm so sorry, they should be a lot closer by now. Grunt command action. Okay. So, active bogey has line of sight. Yes, it does. Attacks the nearest character and gains a support token. Already has a support token. The nearest character is the Ewop. This is not good. Let's have a look over here. He's going to shoot the Ewop. That's, call it 3 inches. So that's 3, 8. She's still got armor of 1, 9. 9 would be 2 dice, but he's going to use his support token for 3 dice. 1, 2, 3. Needing 9s. 1 hit. She has AV of 1. Does nothing. So it's 1 hit. She is now wounded 4. Again. Now, that may sound like a problem. And it is a problem. We'll come back to that in a second. First, we've got secondary action. So, this guy's going to move 2 inches. Let's just put him down there for now. He's wounded 2. Blimey. Do you know, I'm wishing I had given the AI gunfu now, because gunfu is great for taking down multiple enemies in one go. And these grunts are awfully close and loaded up with support tokens for my level of comfort, especially given the wounded nature of my poor heroes. My doc... No, actually, that guy's that guy possessed or just died? He's not possessed yet, is he? If I possess him, he'll gain... We've still got a move of 2. 5, 5, 3, and lethal. I could possess the doc, but then I don't have a doc to fix people anymore. Oh, this is not good. Not good at all. Any suggestions? Honestly, looking at you guys, I can't see your comments because I got the rulebook up. 2 secs. Got Jonathan here. I've been meaning to ask, why do you have a raised wooden frame around your gaming board? Most gaming board tables have frames underneath for strength, not raised ones. 2 answers to that question. 1, because it stops the dice falling off the table. But 2 is because actually when this is finished, it won't be anything like as raised as it appears. At the moment, I built the frame and I've got some wooden boards inside it, but I am planning on getting some foam, the blue foam sheets, cutting them to shape and fitting them in so it would raise this up about another 2 inches. That'd only be an inch at the top here. So that's why, before you ask. The other reason is that I can have multiple levels of table and keep them all in here rather than having to stash them around. So, yeah, works for me. But the main reason is so the dice don't fall off the table. Okay, so I was agonising over what to do over here. Okay, my EWOP can't move. That's important. I need the EWOP to move because she's the objective. If the EWOP dies, my doc is the next best to pick up that. What's my doc's fight? 3. And he's at -1, so he's fight 4, but the doc is really close. I think the doc needs to shoot that drone because he's got a support token. So it's only 2 inches away. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So he needs 8s. He'd have a firepower of 3, a fight of 3, sorry, but he's going to add his support token to have a fight of 4. What did I just say? 2, 5, 7, 8. 8s. Let's see how I do. Okay, 8s. 1, 2. Okay, I was hoping for a bonus action, but I will take that. The nearest drone is then down and dead. So he's killed, robot has killed. Do you know, it's just occurred to me the robot can't do that. Because he's a doc. He's a doc. He doesn't have another program on him. Brain. Sorry, we'll take that one back. Doc can't do that, which answers the question entirely. So instead, my leader will make a cautious move. He's going to move 3 inches, so he's in contact with the doc. Give the doc his support token back. So he moves 3 inches, so he's in contact with the doc and 1 inch away from that drone. 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. He's got a discipline of 4, but he's wounded 1, so he's -1. So I need 12s on 3 dice. Gosh. I was hoping for 2 successes, but I got 1. So I'll take that. Let's go back. So 1 success, no bonuses, nothing else he can do there. So we've cancelled this action. So nothing happens, but the nearest drone does get to move towards the nearest hero, which is now him. So there's going to be a CQB with the drone. So, the drone has an attack of 2. Our boss man has a fight of 5 minus 1. It's 4. The drone's target is 4 plus 3 is 7, because he's at -1 in his stats, and the boss's target is 5. Could see the end of the boss on this. Thank goodness the drone has nothing. The boss has 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 kills the drone. Ooh, okay. Three to move, because they do not have a 360 line of fire. 4 to shoot this drone. Range is 10. 15. 16, it's obscured. 17. 17 to hit the drone. 4 dice. One hit takes away the drone's support token, does nothing else. Whew. Okay. That was bonus actions from his CQB with the drone that came from the drone's own action. So it is now our action, and it is Doctor time. Doctor has acuity of 5. He is in base contact. He's not wounded. He is targeted. He is looking for 13s to heal the boss. 9, 2, 2. That's 13. That's 1 success. 1 success. So the boss is back to wounded 1. This is victory. Okay. Didn't use his support token. Complication. Oh, haven't we all learned to dread these? Okay, let's see if I can roll. Got a 8. Something different. Perimeter alarm. All characters become targeted. If they are already targeted, they become stressed. So, the doc is stressed, but he can't. The doc is targeted, but he can't be stressed. If they are synthetic or already stressed, they become stunned. Right. So, the doc is now stunned. Stunned is basically, you just got to spend an automatic action to stop being stunned. The doc is not all that important, so I'm not that fussed. Well, yeah, I want him to heal the EWOP. So, what are we going to do? Okay, so the doc will... okay, I'm just going to spend an action to clear the doc's stressed state. So he's no longer stressed, stunned, sorry, and then, say drone support action, grunt support action. So the grunt gains support token. None of them are down, fortunately. We killed that other one, so that doesn't happen. That's all right. We can live with that as an action. Doc is no longer stunned, so he is going to move to the EWOP. Let's say that was a cautious move for 4 inches. See if I can get anything out of that. He is discipline 3. So that was 3 inches, 6 inches, 7, 8. So that's 8s on 3 dice. 2 successes. So blank that. +1. Leader gets to move. Leader has a move of 4. So he's going to move 4 to there. Keep facing backwards. Still wounded. Still targeted. Back to here, cancel the action. Boff. So cancel that, but he still gets his move. But he should have had a move last time, so I'm going to move him 4 inches now. So there's the drone, our remote, our enemy grunt, synthetic grunt, creeping up on them. What I'm going to do now is I am going to have our dominated grunt, which has a mobility of 2, make a urgent move. So it's going to move urgently 6 inches. So it's going to move urgently to there. Now when something moves urgently, it becomes stunned. That is, you've got to spend an action clearing the stunned state before it can do anything else. I do have a stuns token, there we go. That doesn't matter because I don't really plan for that to do anything else. Okay, so it's been dominated. All it's supposed to be is the closest character, so that it then distracts any other character, any other enemy grunts on the table. So I'm going to try and get off the table now. So, Doctor is going to attempt to heal our heroic Ewop. So that's 13s, isn't it? So that's 1, 2, 3 successes. So 1 reduces her by 1. Another one allows him to move. He is going to move, what's his move? 4, 3. So he can move 3 to there. And he will gain a support token. I'll tell you what, let's give her the support token. That makes more sense, doesn't it? So she's now wounded 3. Cards. See, that's why I wanted to move that dominated bogey, because there's a bogey attack action. So now the bogey is going to hit this one over here. Range is 4, 9, 10. So he's looking for 10s on 2 dice. Success. It's hit him once, so he goes down. Doink. In fact, no, because he's a character now. Sorry. So he becomes wounded 1. Always forget that. So he's wounded 1. He does get an EV check against that. What do I just roll? Oh, it doesn't matter. Leave over it. He's not going to cancel it. Fine. Back to the dock, because I want her. She could just move like that. Can she? She's -2. What's she on? She's on move 5, so she's at move 3, so she could move 6. Try and get away. So close, so close. Yeah, all right, I'll just move her. So she's going to move 6. Staggering her way there. So she's wounded 3, support targeted. It's just a normal move, so we get a card flip. What are we going to get? Grunt technical action. Nearest target becomes targeted. Exactly what that dominated remote is for. Now we're going to activate the dock. Dock must move towards the nearest wounded. So he is still wounded. So I'm going to move to there. That was what? 4 inches. Let's say it was a cautious move because he's got a move of 5. So 4, 8. No one's got a line of sight on him now. There is 1 in 12 inches. 9s on 3 dice. 1, 2, 3 successes. So 1 cancels that. 2 more successes. Yeah, so she can move 3. We're nearly there now. She can't make an urgent move though, so she can't just run off the board once she's within 9 inches, unfortunately, because she's wounded 3. So she's wounded, he's got a support token, he's got a, oh no, she's got a support token. So we'll give a support token to the boss, the leader. That's it. Good. Back to the card flip. You can see the cards are getting quite low now. Grunt Attack action. Guess who? He's going to attack over there again. So now he's going to use his support token this time, which he should have done last time and I forgot. So we said the range is 4, 9, 10. Needing 10s to shoot. Oh, and another one. Actually rolls 4 dice because of the targeted counter. There we go. 9s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he goes from wounded 1 to wounded 5. Let's just see if he can AV any of those. Nope. So unfortunately, our brave little dominated grunt is killed. Out of here. See, grunts can be dangerous. They may look weedy, but they can still be scary. Okay, so the main threat at the moment are more complications hurting people. So I think my doc can't move until he's healed that guy because he's the closest. So my doc's going to try and heal the leader. Should be a shoo-in. So that's a success. 1, 2 successes. Good. So 2 successes. My leader is now not wounded. With his bonus action, the leader is going to, in fact, no, the doc will move. Doc will make a move up to the EWOP. Help if the EWOP could clear this targeted state from everybody, really. Don't know where that support token came from. Oh no, it's the docs. There we go. And card flip time. How are we doing? How are we doing? Complications. Don't we all love complications? Oh, complications. No new comments. Kind. Okay. 11. Reinforcements. Oh, okay. Okay. Flip 3 cards. So we're running down of cards. 3 cards. Go on. Let's have a look. See what they're going to be. An elite. That's a synthetic elite. A human elite. And a human grunt. Right, okay. Synthetic elite. Let's see what I've got in my collection. Yes, I think this is a nice little bod from Strata Miniatures. It's supposed to be a remote tank, but we're going to use it now as a synthetic elite. Then we want a human elite, of which I've got one over here because we killed him earlier. There he is, human elite and a human grunt. So there we go. Let's deploy them. Now remember, the EWOP is the objective now. So they're going to appear in the vicinity of our poor beleaguered EWOP. 6, 10. So 6 is across, 10 is here. We'll just pick the first one that came out. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Hello. 1, 5. 1, 5 is right in the way on their way back over here. And 6, 12. So the last one, thankfully, is about as far away as they could be. Human grunt coming in behind the elite synthetic. Oh dear. Right. Well, I think that doc needs to do some work, doesn't he? So let's get the doc working. Okay. Needing 13s. So we've got 13. That's it. 13. 1 success. Okay, so she's now wounded 2. That's a good start. They're also all targeted, which is not good. So let's do the card flip first. Card flip. Elite. Nearest elite is, I think it's the synthetic, and that's a command action for the elite. If the active bogey has line of sight, yes it does. Attacks the nearest character to which it can draw a line of sight, then gains a support token. Whew. So, range of 3. +5 for 8, +3, which is his armour, for 11. That's about it. And he's rolling 4 dice because of the targeted state. At least that's taken away. What do you say? 11s. Looking for 11s. Oh, that's not good. Double 12 and an 8 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 hits. My leader is going to be dead if I can't block some of these. Let's see how we do on the AV test. Oh, I've cancelled a 12. Awesome. Okay. So I've cancelled a 12, which is good. The 12 also cancels one other hit, which is good. And the 3 cancels the 3. So he would be left with 1, 2 hits. One's cancelled. So he's only got 1 hit. Phew. So he's now wounded again, but he needs to take a stress test. Tens. 1 success, no bonuses. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. Wow, that was pretty awful. If I hadn't rolled a 12, that would have been evil. Okay. Right, our action again. Dock time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, not dock time. It is EWOP time. EWOP is going to try to buff the dock to remove that targeted state. So the range is 1, because that's the minimum. 6. In fact, they're in contact. Do you know, my brain says there was something in the rules that says if you're in contact with the person you're trying to buff, that it's an automatic action. But let's skip over that and just say, imagine it's a minimum range of 1. So she's needing 6s minus his firewall of 1, which is 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So 1 success means she can remove his targeted state. 2 successes means she can remove her own targeted state. They've both already got support tokens. Not much else we can do here. I could buff firewalls, but I don't see any EWOPs, so I'm not going to worry about that. She can, however, so I used 2 of her successes. I've got 2 more successes, so I could move and shoot that elite around the corner. I think this is where the AI needs to come in and take over. So what she's actually going to do is move just a little bit to there to give the dock a route through. That's her movement bonus. And then the shooting bonus is going to be used by this guy to shoot that elite there, because I don't like it. So he's got a fight of 5 still, plus his support token gives him 6. The range, in fact, that thing's got a support token, isn't it, because of the support thing. So it's a range of 3. Three plus 5 is 8, 9, 10. So looking for 10s. One, 2, 3, 4. which is perfect. So that's 1, 2, 3, dead. 4. So we killed the elite synthetic. Good news. And that's it for our action. So back to the card flip. We're running very low on cards now. How are we doing? Grunt technical action. Boop. 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 Okay, that's simple as that. Nearest active bogey and support token. There we go. And gets a support token. Ha. Right. Okay. Now, AI is finally going to come into his own. He is going to possess the dock. That's just an action. It's just an automatic action. Possess the dock. Card flip. Grunt command action. Has line of sight. Attacks the nearest. Nearest is 4 inches. 4 plus 5 is 9, 12. He's got targeted, so he's rolling an extra dice, and he's got a support token, so he's rolling an extra dice, so he's rolling 4 dice with a target of 12. Still looks bad for our hero. 1 hit, 2 hits, AV3. I could add his support token to this to make him AV4. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Red dice. And I've cancelled nothing. No joy at all. So 2 hits, so he immediately becomes goosh goosh wounded 3. Not good for the leader, but we've now got a possessed dock. So our dock now has a small movement and a very large fight. And he's lethal. So, oh, he should have moved as well, shouldn't he? There we go. Right, so the AI is going to shoot the grunt. Range of, let's call it 4. 4, 5, he's going to use it, and he's not going to use his support token. I take that back. He's got a firepower of, a fight, sorry, of 5. 4 plus 5 is 9, 10, so you're looking for 10s. It's not a great roll, actually, is it? That's 1, 2 successes. So no bonus actions, but it's enough to kill him. 1, 2. Good. Card flip. Okay, now there are no grunts on the table. Oh yes, there are. There's this guy over here. Totally forgot about him. So he gets a support action. Nobody's down, luckily. He gets a support token, and the next nearest grunt gets a support token. And the next nearest bogey, rather, which is him, over there. So he's now got a support token. Okie dokie. So now, he can move up to 2 inches in a cautious move. That's what he's for now. He's going to move 2 inches. Sorry, that's hers. That's his. 2 inches. Cautious move, that's 2, 4, 5, 6. On his discipline of 3. Looking for 6s. 1, 2. 2 successes, that's what we want. So we got 1 over there and 1 to shoot the guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dice. The range is 5 inches. So that's 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 2 for his armour is 12 on 5 dice. Let's see if we can do a bit better this time. In fact, I'm going to use his support token now. 12s. 1. That's really, really disappointing. One thing I must remember is that he's lethal. The rules for lethal mean if you only cause one hit, you don't cause any hits. But if you cause more than one hit, you cause an extra hit. So in fact, that's 3 hits. So that's 1 would do nothing to an elite, 2 would place him down, 3 would kill him outright. So he is now dead. Oh no, no, because he's got a support token. So he's not dead. He is in fact down. So I was right, it is disappointing. Despite being lethal, he is only down. Let's come back to the card flip, which doesn't do anything. Grunt action is cancelled, but the grunt still moves 2 inches towards the nearest hero. He's going, where have they all gone? Where's everybody gone? I can hear fighting. There's shooting and stuff going on. What's going on? Right. Okay, he is going to move 2 inches. That's a cautious move. So that's 4. Nobody in 12 inches, nobody with line of sight. So it's just 4 on 3 dice. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So she is going to take that extra. She's at -1, which means she can move 4 inches to there. And take a support token. He will also take a support token. And then we cancelled the next card flip. Oh, but the next card flip is an ace, which would have been a complication. But fortunately, it's not a joker. So jokers can't be cancelled by cautious tests, but aces can. So we've skipped out on a complication, and it doesn't activate a secondary action on anybody on the board. So let's get back to work. Let's get to our heroes. We've got to get these guys off the table. So let's get our objective off the table. She's got an 8-inch move. Can she get off in 8? Yeah. So she is going to leave the building. Okay, so our objective is off the table. This is a good start. But it was a normal move, so there's a card flip. Let's see if we can get a full escape. Grunt attack action. Okay, the grunt cannot see him, so he moves towards him instead. 2 inches, and then his secondary action is another 2 inches. You can definitely see him now. My boss normally has a mobility of 4, so he can only move 6. He's going to move 6 though, so he can get. Oh, tell a lie, he's wounded 2, so he's only got a move of. 4 down to 2, so he can only move 4 inches. So he can only move that far. Not great. We're running out of cards. Card flip. Whew. Grunt support action. Okay, only grunt already has a support token, nobody is down. So it does nothing. We like this. The doc is going to cautious move 1 inch. That's 1 times 2 is 4, so he's looking for 4s. 1, 2, 3, excellent. So this guy gets an extra move of 2 inches. That's what we needed. Leader gets to go to there. And he can have a support token as well. And we cancel the next card flip, which is the penultimate. But it's a joker. So we can't cancel it. Well, our objective is off the table. This is a good thing. What's our dice roll for the last complication? 5. Sniper. Deploy a sniper. Where's my sniper? There we go, there she is. Deploy a sniper. Ah, well, the objective's off the table. This is a good question. Where would the sniper go if the objective is off the table? That's a reasonable follow-up question, isn't it? We've got to answer that question. I would say, just for the moment, we'll nominate and we'll say once the objective is off the table, if there is a leader in your team, it becomes the leader. If the leader is dead and there is a second, it becomes the second. If there is no leader and no second, you nominate any one of your heroes to be the new objective. But it's a good question. We'll come back to that one. I should have written this stuff down. You guys will remind me, won't you? I know you will. Right, okay, let's see. Yellow's left to right, red's up to down. It's all coming in on the leader. 5-9. So the snipers appeared there. I mean, it's not the most snipey of locations, let's be honest. It's not exactly up on a building. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But he's obviously appeared and he's coming in after him. So I've literally got one card flip left. So I am not going to get my injured leader off the table. My only guy who can leave is the doc. And he is not the doc, the AI possessing the doc. So the AI was going to kill that down elite, but I think he's going to have to simply leave the table. What's his mobility? It's only 2. So even to get off the table, he is going to have to urgent move 6 inches to escape. And we flip the last card. And it's an elite attack action just as we've deployed a sniper looking at the leader. So this is not going to go well. Snipers have attack of 3. I think it's 3. Let's say it's 3 just for the sake. Yes, it is. Yeah, sure, it's 3. Yeah. Have an attack of 3. Fortunately, he's got no support tokens, but it's only a short range. Do you know, I might say that snipers ignore the visibility level as well, just to make them really nasty. That might make them quite threatening. 5. He's got armour of 3, so that's 8 on 3 dice. That's not a good roll for our leader, is it? So that's 1, 2, 3 successes. Is his armor? I'm going to have to use his support token to boost his armor. He's been holding on to that support token for so long. Cancel the 6. It's still 2 successes. That puts him wounded 4. Wounded 5 is dead. So our leader has been killed on the final flip of a card. And that, my delightful audience, is the end of this mission. And I've just realised that I've had the angle on my laptop such that you've just been having to look at me for this whole time and haven't been able to see any of the table from the little window. So that is the end of mission 1 in Op Gemini. So 3 of my heroes technically have escaped. The doc has escaped, the AI has escaped, the EWOP has escaped by the skin of her teeth with the objective. Our leader, however, has been killed in action. And of course, because nobody saw him die, he was left behind as his friends fled for the ERV. So a tragic, bittersweet victory, I think it is fair to say today. A challenging mission. In the end, I used slightly more than a quarter of the table, and that is something of the nature of these missions, that you'll lay out a table and only use part of it. Frankly, that doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, play a PvP game. I guarantee you'll use the whole table. But it could have gone either way. Very interesting. A few learning points came out of there, a few little finesse points that I need to think about that haven't come up before. So we'll address those in the next beta release, which should be, I think it'll be around the end of January, beginning of February will be the next beta. If you are not a patron and you have watched this video and you like the look of what you've seen, or you would like to get your hands on a copy of the beta rules, or if you just like it so much that you'd like to contribute towards making this game happen, then you can do so by going to patreon.com/precinct omega. That's PRECINCTOMEGA, all one, where you will see the Zero Dark Patreon campaign, or you can just search for Zero Dark in the Patreon search bar and you'll find the campaign. All backers at any level get access to the beta rules. Higher levels get access to some other stuff, and I'm going to be doing a new monthly mini draw on the 1st of February with 2 minis, a fully painted miniature for the $5 backers and an unpainted miniature of my choice, and I've got a few ready for the $3 backers. If you've got any questions, queries, anything you'd like to know, I'm just going to check the comments, see if there's anything come in that I need to answer before I go. Doesn't look like it at first glance. I was under the impression that a bogey had to be free of support. You're right, 27 Geigis, who is Mark, isn't it? Yes, you're right, Mark. Good point. I got that wrong. I should have used one of my successes to clear his support tokens and then the domination. But in my defense, she had like 4 successes on that hacking action, so it would have happened anyway. Ultimately, when you're playing it, this is the nice thing, in my opinion, about playing a solo game, is that you can make these mistakes. And what's really important is, did you enjoy the game? Was it a challenging tactical experience where you forced to make difficult decisions? Did you either lose by the skin of your teeth or win by the skin of your teeth, whichever it might be? And as I hope you did see in that, I did. Win just by the skin of my teeth. So that's... Mark's just come back. That's nice. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you picking up my mistakes, and I will, and when you're playing this game, you will make mistakes. As I say, it's the lovely thing about the solo game, is it doesn't matter. You haven't stolen anything from an opponent that wasn't there. You've just had a good, fun game. And same thing for a team game if you're playing co-op. If you're playing PvP, well, the good thing about playing PvP is I'll have somebody like you, Mark, on the other side of the table going, doesn't my guy need to have no support tokens before you can... And I'll go, oh, yeah, so he does. So anyway, I hope you guys had a good insight. Hope you enjoyed it. Really glad to hear that the sound is good. That's obviously my microphone here that I've been using for the first time. I'm really glad that works. I hope that the camera thing worked and that you were seeing the details of what was happening. I get to watch the video back soon and I'll see just exactly how that went down. It is now 4:15, which means I'm shattered and I've done far too much talking. I am going to go and get a fresh cup of tea. I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments on the video, if you're patrons, in the Patreon. If you're not, and you'd like to know more about the project, there is a Facebook page. Again, just search for Zero Dark on Facebook. It's called Horizon Wars Zero Dark is the name of the group. And you're welcome to ask any questions that you've got about the game. The one question for which I do not yet have an answer is there any way to support the game without backing the Patreon campaign? Now, there is one answer to that question, and that answer is yes, please tell people about the game. If you think it's cool, if you think they would like it, tell people. Come and join the Facebook group, share it around, share the link to this video, which I will put out on Facebook and such like in due course. That's the best way to help support this game if you can't give me a couple of dollars a month. Have had a couple of people say, Can I just buy a copy of the beta rules from you? The answer is no, because that's called buying the game. The game will be available to buy by the end of March in some form. My hope is that by the end of March it will be finished and ready and printed, and you can get a hard copy or a digital copy from Wargame Vault. At the end of March, I am off to Japan for 3 weeks, so if it's not fully finished by the end of March, a beta digital version will be available to buy on Wargame Vault, and it will be replaced with the correct version in due course. And anybody that's bought the beta digital will be able to get the finished digital for no extra money. But if you want the print copy, you'll have to buy another copy. All right. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Thank you guys. Really, really appreciate those of you who did pop into the live stream. Just to have you here makes it makes all the difference knowing there's somebody out there listening. Thank you so much. I will do this again in 2 or 3 weeks' time. We'll catch up then. All right. See you guys. We're going to finish now. See you soon.